So my white rapper brother-in-law, Dirte, yep, that's real. My sister's getting banged by a guy named Dirte. Did your folks know you were going to be quarterback at 5? Were you just chucking deep balls at that age? Just throwing your shit-filled diapers across the field? Hey, Matt Leinart. And he was like, what's up? Is it the same horse? Do we know that? Well, dude, I don't think anyone in this room, Matt, was thinking math and you fucking have a good relationship going. I mean, I guess I did dress like a Lady Foot Locker employee, but that's on me. So it's like if I pop back into A Pie, if they ask me to take a 5-foot bong rip and I do, then I can probably stay a while.
You're one of the homies.
They're like,
One of the
alright.
homies. Yeah,
Sees it, feels it, runs inside the 10, down to the 5.
Toward the Harvard sideline, he's across the 30 to the 40.
He's able to fend off the defender and bring in the game's first touchdown.
Yeah, so what is that podcast called?
It's called like Momentum.
All right, here we go. The boys are back. Adam, thanks for joining us, brother.
Thanks for having me, dude. Sorry about your leg.
Yeah.
Cole, sorry about your dick, dude. I heard about it. I just assume there's something up with it, just based on the way you walked out to greet me. Yeah, a little
Good or bad?
A little limp. I think good. I think in a good way. I think you're packing too much heat, as the kids say. No, it's good to be here, man. Good to be back on campus. You guys got the nice. I'm glad that you used this sketchy van for good. So you use it for handing out food to the homeless during the day, and then at night,
During the day, yeah.
it becomes Cole's Volkswagen. Yeah.
Cole just goes to work, man.
Yeah.
I love it.
Good for you, dude. He just silently nods. He's like, yeah,
He's like, what can I say?
what can I say, man?
Oh, I love it.
For you, dude. Good for you.
Did Cole tell
You
you
look
what?
like Charlie Brown's brother right now. You know who Charlie Brown is?
Of course.
Okay, good. You always got to check, man. You guys are just significantly younger, you know? You know what the DuckTales are?
No.
No.
Fuck, nice, dude.
Fairy tale? Like
All
what?
right, Cole and I are getting high later for sure.
What is that, bro?
It's a cartoon that was real popular when I was a kid. You guys did you even fuck with cartoons when you were kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like what?
I wasn't a huge cartoon guy. SpongeBob is my thing, though.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, big SpongeBob guy.
What's his catchphrase?
I'm ready.
Living
Nice.
a pineapple under the sea. I don't know.
Pineapple under the sea.
Yeah.
Nice. I once saw on Hollywood Boulevard a guy dressed as SpongeBob and a guy dressed as Jack Sparrow fighting. But like this wasn't like these two worlds are finally colliding. It was like they were both breaking the
like
fourth
actually
wall.
fighting?
They were in the costume but not doing the voices. And
They were just pissed.
They were just pissed at each other over, and I'll tell you what, the guy dressed as SpongeBob screams at the guy dressed as Jack Sparrow, "God damn it, Matt, give me my fucking string cheese." And I was like, I don't think that's SpongeBob's catchphrase. But I don't watch the show. So who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Anyway, man, great to be here.
Dude, SC, does it look any different? You're not around here often, are you? South Central?
No, yeah. Last time I came back, probably for some alumni stuff. One of my, I guess, theater school teachers passed. That was maybe the last. Thanks for bringing that up. I think that was the last time I came. And before that, I used to come down for shows all the time. So my buddy Jack Michaelman, who went here, who was also in A Pi, the fraternity I was a part of, started doing comedy shows. He was working at an agency, and we met at the Hollywood Improv. I guess probably when I was about 10 years into stand-up. I'm 15 now, and he was like, I'm trying to get shows going at SC, and I was like, man, that was one of my biggest regrets is not having more of a stand-up scene like prevalent around campus.
While you were in school,
While I was in school, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, there was just a coffee house called Ground Zero, and the handful of comics that were there didn't really leave campus to go to the clubs to do open mics, and so Jack started a show at whatever it is. There was a big stage and bar now next to Commons. I'm not sure what it's called, but we got some pretty cool shows there and got a lot of cool, big comics to come down. Awesome. And so that was probably the last time. But I mean, I want to come down more, but I feel like I don't look, super old yet. So I feel like I can come down and kick it,
Yeah.
And also I feel like it's all about your intentions and how you relate and how you assimilate. So it's like if I pop back into A Pi, if they ask me to take a 5-foot bong rip and I do, then I can probably stay a while.
You're one of the homies.
They're like,
One of the
all right,
homies.
he's
Yeah,
all
this
right,
guy
let
can
him
chill.
chill.
Yeah.
That being said, I could never my lungs, could never do that.
Can't handle it, yeah.
There were some guys, there was this kid named David Spiegel, Jew, and he,
Relevant.
and he was a sweet kid, and he just could fucking rip those bongs in one rip, like, and oh, dude, it was like it was the most impressive thing I've ever seen. Still to this day,
wow.
Yeah.
That, I
Until
mean, that's
saw
pretty
Cole
phenomenal.
fucking walk up.
So you're originally from Seattle, though,
Originally
right?
from Seattle, yeah.
Big Seahawks guy, huh?
Huge, man. That's my squad, dude.
What do you think about Russ leaving, man?
You know
Brutal.
what? So my white rapper brother-in-law, Dirte. Yep, that's real. My sister's getting banged by a guy named Dirte. How's
Wait,
how's your
how do you
2022 going so
That's
far?
his name, Dirte?
Well, his real name's Tim. His rapper name's
Whoa,
Dirte.
wait, whoa.
Real
How
name's
is that?
Tim. Rapper named Dirte. And actually, a legit rapper. Look him up on YouTube. Better dad. And but he always hated Russ. He always hated Russ. And so I don't think as a default I liked Russ more just to kind of fucking stick it to him. Sure. I always liked Russ. I think the fact that we signed Matt Flynn back in the day and then Russ, I just love the underdog story always. And also seeing him in preseason just rip it up like he did, you're like, oh, let's bet on that guy, man.
He's gonna ball.
He's the way he was moving around the field and the cannon for an arm just felt more exciting, and it fit with the young D we had. And we got 10 years of a top tier Super Bowl quarterback. You can make your arguments about like all the wins in the playoffs we had with Russ and the types of teams we were playing and who was on the other side and you know the D's that we had during that run but I don't know, man, stat wise to be competitive every year like that, you can't ask for more. We got one Super Bowl, should add another. Yeah. But also, how greedy can you be as a sports fan, man? It's like we were dog shit for so long before that.
Yeah. You're making it the Bulls and games, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like to have 10 years of every Sunday you get pumped up to watch your squad, like that's all you want as a sports fan. That being said, I think he's going to rip it up in Denver.
In Denver, yeah.
I think it's just going to be like new city who dis, and he's going to fucking... I mean, you've already seen these videos he's posting. Like, he just looks dialed in. And I think he was just
he always
jonesing.
posts those, though.
Yeah, you think? Okay, so you're like Dirte. You think that's for show? You think that's a part of the
I
brand?
think
That's more media.
It's a big brand
Cool.
thing. I don't think he runs.
Well, you
those
tell me. You
accounts.
guys are more attached to that world than I am.
Yeah.
But
I mean, everybody's doing that. So, like,
A lot,
him
yeah.
just posting is showing people that he's doing it versus the guys who are just doing it.
It's like, okay,
without.
we're all lifting weights.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
we're all throwing with
cool.
our receivers
Yeah,
that
you know
we're
what I'm saying?
paid, you know?
But
Yeah,
okay,
we sound like haters.
But now, like, assess the video though. It's like he wouldn't post it if it was dog shit. Like the one of him just throwing
with Jerry
balls
Jeudy and all that.
Like, I mean, that's.
I also
it's
think
impressive
it puts
tape, right?
like people in seats too, though.
Totally.
People are like, "Wow, our guys already
Smart,
working
right?
with
Get people
Jeudy."
fired up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a question for you guys. Like, there's some athletes that just stay off social media and don't do a good job of branding or promoting themselves at all.
Absolutely.
Like, look at the Angels' Mike Trout. That guy fucking just
Nothing.
doesn't like.
Yeah.
Is so
Do anything.
boring.
Yeah.
Is like, you know, arguably the face of the sport and wants nothing to do with being out there, and that, you know, ultimately hurts the game. So it's like, you know, baseball really should be coming down on him to be like, you know,
get out there.
holding his feet to the fire and be like, not probably saying like, look, you can't play if you don't do one Instagram story a week, but like they should be like, you know, sign up for OnlyFans and put your feet on there, you know, or something. Like just be
anything.
involved, be active, so that people give a shit, because that's how it goes, right? Like when fans feel like, especially this day and age, that they know the players more. There's more
connected
reason.
to them.
Yeah. The connectivity factor is huge.
I think that's why the basketball players in the NBA. That's why that
That's
league
why
has
NBA
grown
is
so much. There's so much
1000%.
drama.
Yeah.
You know, Kyrie's out there saying crazy stuff.
Yeah. D-books
love
with
it or hate it.
the, you know, the Kardashians.
There you go. There's the Kardashian element.
Well, they've just helped
There's so
and
much
hurt
more
everything
to
at
it.
the same time. Yeah. Now, let me ask you this, Cole, and sorry to throw a pop quiz at you, but which Kardashian, including Rob, would you date if you had the option?
Ooh.
If all of them, including the mom, what's her name again? Oh, Chris.
Yeah,
Oh,
Kris
yeah,
Jenner.
Kris Jenner.
Yeah.
Who would you pick, Cole, if you had your?
Obviously, the funny answer is Caitlyn. But
Right.
It's trendy to not say Kim, but it's Kim.
Oh, I think so.
Really?
I think so, man.
Oh,
I'm going Kendall.
Oh, that's
Yeah, I
right. I
go Kendall.
forget
I go
about
Kendall.
them.
Kendall.
Yeah. Well, see, they're more your age. Yeah. Now, do you say no to
She
Kim
looks more
because
natural.
you? Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, more
You know
natural.
what I'm saying?
I mean, which is just also like, what are we even saying when we say that? Like,
It's all relative. It's all
like,
relative.
it's crazy when you look at the side by sides of what they've done. But like, also, shit, man, if we had millions, like,
Why not?
billions,
Are you
like,
a fan of the BBL? I'm not a huge fan of that.
not really.
I think it's over the
man.
top. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Too much. We're
It's
doing
like
too
tats.
much over here.
You get one tat, you got to get like an arm sleeve, a
You got a
leg
tat?
sleeve.
That's an interesting-
I don't,
Yeah.
but You know, like I feel like that's the same type of situation.
1,000%. They just get addicted to hitting the knife, man, and it's like after a while, I mean, you know, they just don't even look like people anymore. They're addicted to like looking like you know Lord of the Rings
before and
characters.
after photos? Different human beings,
Insane.
totally different people.
Yeah.
It's and then you have a kid, and you know, they don't look the same.
I mean, Cole knows what that's like getting that second penile reduction surgery, man. I mean, like you're nice, dude. Just laughs and doesn't say anything back. All right, thanks for the participation, dude. Yeah, we'll just bump it up and keep it moving. All right, next question.
That's awesome.
So
what were we talking about?
Came down here in 2001 from Seattle. Went to acting school at SC. Auditioned to get in the program. I was going to audition to go to NYU or University of Washington in Seattle, where I was from. Really want to come down here because I knew eventually coming to LA for the business was the move.
Especially for media.
Yeah, totally. And you know, comedy is huge in New York, stand up as well as LA. But eventually, if you want to do more than that, like you got to be here, and that's why so many New York guys eventually move here or just become bi-coastal. And I didn't find stand up until a couple years after I graduated, so acting was the main passion. And this program just ruled. My SAT scores weren't great. My extracurricular stuff was pretty spot on, and I had the Jewish diversity card to hopefully play, and the single mom and the fucking tugging at their heartstrings, being like, "Fucking, we're on food stamps and fucking SpaghettiOs. Come on, you got to let us in." And
it worked.
And so I auditioned for the program, and I stayed in my buddy's frat. Actually, it was the first time I actually had like truly partied. So you know, just kind of got into it my last year in high school. And then when I got down here, this might be my junior year, and I stayed with a buddy at his frat at Phi Psi, and my audition was the next day, and he was like, "Just stay with me and save money on a hotel." And he had a huge frat party that night, and I just got so fucked up to where like I couldn't feel my legs. I walked Figueroa and got one item from every fast food joint. In my head, I was like, I'm gonna go to each place and get one thing. So I went to Subway, I got a cookie. I went to Mickey D's, I got some fries. I went to Tommy, I got a burger. I went down the line. It took me probably 2.5 hours. I came back so sick. Woke up the next day, went over to the School of Theater and did my audition. And I was so sick and felt like such dog shit that I had such this like cloud lifted of like no stress and pressure, because I was like, I just want to get this over with. But I still was able to dial in and do what I had prepared for months for this audition, a couple acting scenes. But I was so just like, I had no nerves, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so then they take 20 kids each year to be in the BFA acting program. And so I got in. And so once they accepted me, then they told the school, "Hey, you got to take this kid. You got to take this idiot. Like, his test scores might suck, but we're taking him, so you got to take him."
Yeah.
So that was the benefit of auditioning for the School of Theater first, you know?
Wow. And so you did acting first then. How did like comedy and getting into that world happen?
So I did plays, starting in like 5th grade, and then it was plays and sports up until high school, and I was doing football and the play freshman year, and I was able to do both, like split, like that. My coaches were able to let me get out of like certain days of practice to go to.
That's interesting. You don't see that often.
Dude, it was rare. I mean, it was
Renaissance.
Ends up being like High School Musical type shit, where it's like I was doing both. And then sophomore year, I actually quit football. I was offensive line and defensive line, and my coach. We had a senior above me who got injured, so he was like, "You're going to start varsity on the O-line on left guard and be sophomore captain," and putting all these expectations on me. And I was like, "Man, football is just a fun thing for me. I ain't trying to go pro with this." And basketball was my main sport. If I, was maybe 5-6 inches taller, I would have tried to play somewhere maybe. But so I quit football to do the school play, and that's actually when and my coach was not understanding at all. I walked down to his office, and the play was Grease. I don't know if you ever seen it. And John Travolta played this Danny Zuko part. So I walked down to his office, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to be able to memorize the playbook this year because I got to memorize the lyrics to Grease Lightning." And he just paused and he goes, "Get the fuck out of my office." And I was like, I go, "Cool, thanks for understanding, coach. Good talk, man." And then after I did that play, I was like, "Oh, okay, I think I got the bug for this. This is what I want to do." So it worked out. But I was trying to do both as long as possible because I truly but basketball I was able to do all 4 years, which was the main sport.
That's a tough decision. I mean, like,
yeah, man, and that's
in high school picking football. I mean, acting over football.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, it just comes. I mean, I just always wanted to try to do it all, and can up until a point, and then you just do kind of got to narrow it down and decide like what do you want to put your actual time and effort into, because certain seasons like that don't allow you to do it all. But yeah, it was, thankfully I chose to come down here and got in down here. Otherwise I probably would have just stayed in Seattle for college, and who knows after that, but coming down here for school made it an easier transition to graduate, because you're still starting over. Like, as you guys will find, it's like being in the bubble of college and campus is like dope, but like fucking LA, once you get out of here, it's like huge, and there's just so many more things to like factor in and navigate through, which is also awesome. Like, it's super exciting, all the uncertainty that surrounds that. So yeah.
Awesome.
So then, but that's
what does Alex do real quick? Other than produce the pod, what do you do? What's your major?
He just joined us.
I'm a junior.
You're a recent acquisition?
Free agent.
What do you want to do with that?
Wait, hold on. Bring the mic to him if you can. Yeah. There you go.
All right, sure. So I'm a comm major, and
Yeah, Alex.
as my mom hates me mentioning, I have minors
doesn't like
in
the comm
history
major?
and comedy writing.
You have a what?
Comedy writing minor in history.
Nice,
writing.
dude.
Oh, I mean, she's not happy. Zelensky is bailing me out, because now I get to be like, hey, look, maybe I'll be president one day.
Fuck yeah.
There you go.
And she's like, please just move out of the house.
Oh, she's not supportive of the comedy passion. That's all right, man.
It happens.
Wait, why is that?
I don't know. She's a Cuban mother from Florida. She just
Yeah, comedy's not her strong suit.
no.
Yeah. Well, you just got to prove her wrong. I mean, you got to
Make her laugh.
Yeah, it takes a minute for the parents to understand that it is actually a real job until you start making money from it, right?
Great.
Oh, jeez.
Oh boy, it's great. I get to show her like, yeah, mom, look what I'm doing. I'm producing this podcast, and then she gets even worse. She's like, this is,
she's like,
this is
see, yeah.
dog shit.
She's like, you're not
yeah.
making your point any better.
These dudes are in the bang bus.
Nice, dude. Good callback.
Well, Cole's going through the same thing so he's trying to do comedy as well.
Yeah, it's funny that you chose entertainment so early, because for most of us, like I didn't go to SC, but I played college football, and then
dope,
eventually found the love for comedy. Kind of grew up in one of those families, but yeah, I mean, it's just sometimes it pushes you there. And I actually had a conversation with you at one of your things in Atlantic City one time, and you were like, "Look, if you want to do this,
In
you
Atlantic
obviously
City?
don't remember this, yeah."
Wait,
At some hotel.
Wait a second. Yeah, dude.
And my buddy's like, "Oh my God, you got to go." I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Dude,
God,
do not,
I do remember this.
do not-
Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm like, "Do not make me
You
go up to
fucking
him."
followed me here, dude?
Yeah, exactly.
Dude.
And you're like, "Look,
Bro,
you got to pick."
I 1,000% remember that. That's crazy. Yeah, you were the group of dudes.
Yeah. And,
In the
but
bang
he and his
bus.
girlfriend, yeah.
And you were asking me, yeah, that's right. And I do remember telling you about, like, if you're trying to take it seriously, like,
You
this is
gotta
what you
go.
got. Yeah, you
And
got
I
to
was-
go all in, right?
Right. I was
yeah.
dabbling in some financial advising stuff, trying to pretend, be
Yeah.
a normal person. You're like,
Wow.
"Look, you got to do it."
You got to make it. I mean,
So-
you can't have a plan B, like, to distract from the plan
Right.
A.
It's just
you
a
gotta,
plan. Right.
Because,
Exactly.
I mean, it is
You
a
have to go all
job, dude,
in.
and you got to, like, you have to, like, love the grinds, the highs and the lows, which there are many. I mean, even at 15 years in now, it's like I was just in Irvine this weekend at the Improv, right?
Yeah.
And I've been going down to that club for, I mean, pretty much since I started. I used to host down there all the time on weekends, just drive up back and forth. Then there was a show, a college night show on Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. I would drive down to do, and then drive right back, and then go to my day job at Universal Studios, right? And I'd featured there a bunch, and I'd done one-nighters, but had never gotten a weekend because it holds like 600 people. So the club and whoever is running it just hadn't yet gotten to a point to where they were like, all right, we trust Adam can fill the room. Like can this guy sell tickets? And I finally got a weekend this weekend there, and I mean we had 450, 500 plus on every show, which was dope.
Yeah.
But it's like that's just that weekend, that club. It's like you celebrate that. Like I'm coming off that high, definitely going into the week.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I mean, I'm in Austin this weekend, then fucking Wisconsin, then Milwaukee, then Atlanta, and it's like, there's no guarantee all those places are going to be like this one. So
Right.
it's like there's no finish line. It's always a grind. But you definitely just try to ride those highs into the next one and try to keep building on it. Wait, how's it going though? Are you doing it?
Literally just started last week. Yeah.
My man.
Hell yeah.
Let's go,
Get an
bro.
open mic,
The
right?
open mics,
Open
yeah.
mic.
All right, dude. We'll fucking get funny and then come do some sets on my shows,
Exactly.
Right? That's how it works.
Yeah.
I imagine it's a lot like football or really anything in terms of just getting reps.
Yeah, dude.
Because I think that's kind of how it is with the podcast. We didn't record. I tore my Achilles and we didn't record for like a month. Like you kind of just feel a little rusty with getting the conversation going, being on camera and all that. I think it's literally just reps.
You guys are pretty solid with it so far, I gotta say.
So far.
Yeah.
So far. Yeah.
But I mean, like, I know you're new and green in it still.
Let's go.
Well, that we gotta edit that out. Whatever that was. Yeah. Whatever that fucking. Whatever that was. Mo, we'll take that out for sure. But no, you guys definitely are comfier than I anticipated.
Yeah.
And you're asking like fine
think?
questions.
I mean, he's comparing football to comedy. So
but that's great. No,
Bridging
dude,
apples
sports and
to
comedy.
oranges. There you go.
Sports and comedy are synonymous, man. I mean, the rep thing can't be a better example for it. Where it's, I mean, it's why I still, I'm doing 3 shows tomorrow. I've taken today off just to do this and then go back and kick it. And I'm going through. I had my buddy come out and tape all my sets, so I'm trying to edit together a bunch of clips to start posting on socials. Right?
Yeah.
So I'll do that tonight, but then shows tomorrow, shows Wednesday, and then fly to Austin Thursday. Became buds with John Mayer over Instagram over the last year, so I'm gonna just go fucking to his show before my shows in Austin, and then just back to it. But it's like the reps. It's like when you're in town, you can't just chill and then just go, I'm gonna do my shit on the weekend and just look. Some people do that. There's people at a higher level that do that. But even Chappelle, when he pops through, man, he'll be in LA for a month and he's up almost every night. So it's like just a true sign that like there's no finish line. You don't just get to a point and go, I mastered stand up. You're always writing. If you get to a point to where you're conditioned to just be so in that world where it's like, shit, there's already a few things just driving down here that I saw where I was like, I just jotted down little notes of things. So it's like, once you get into that pocket, you want to just, which makes me then go, all right, I'm glad I'm going up tomorrow because now I might, toss a couple of those out and just kind of riff on that. But I can't imagine with football too. It's like, and being injured, like how do you stay, like, is it more of a mental sharpness you have to keep?
Man, all of it. Because so last year I tore my ACL and I just got cleared and then I tore my Achilles. And so I was going through that physical and mental part of coming back from the knee. I put everything I had going into the spring ball. And at first it was a struggle mentally, playing quarterback, you're orchestrating, and it's a new offense too with Coach Riley.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm thinking a lot and new receivers. We got a bunch of transfers. And I was just starting to feel right. It's kind of like a feel thing playing quarterback. Cole, you could probably attest to that. And, this happened, unfortunately. But I totally get it. I was starting to feel that way. I think it's just time. It's just an aggregate of everything. The outcome is just everything you put into it is basically.
When you get a bunch of like transfers and just new teammates, do you organize some big hang, or is it like, do you just kind of hope that the chemistry develops on the field, or do you try to get something going off field?
I think you got to do both. I think the way they structure our practices and our like life basically is we're with them 24/7. So we're up in the mornings for a lift and in the afternoons for practice and meetings and etc. Nice. So and then we have like a players lounge, so we have like ping pong in there and we're always just messing around. But then I think on the weekends, like the first couple of weeks, you're kind of like, oh, do we talk to these guys? We don't really know their vibes. Right. Are they gonna be weird outside of like sports, you know, like some guys are just like, I don't do anything outside of my sport. I sit at home and play video games. Or there's guys that are be like, let's go do something. So you kind of got to feel it out, and then you kind of get to interact with them, and that's over time,
Like I just heard DK Metcalf talking about that on Kevin Garnett's podcast, where he was like, I don't do shit. And it's like you can't fault him for that because you're like, cool, man. You're probably gonna stay more dialed in on the field, but at the same time, then you're like, you do want people to. You see on the field when there is chemistry between players like that has developed, like not just during the games, right?
I've noticed a huge difference with what you just said, because I used to be kind of a little bit more on the DK side, where like I'll be with guys around the facility, but I'll do my own thing at home and off the field. And then once I went to junior college, I mean, JUCO. Have you seen Last Chance U by any chance?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so you're kind of familiar with It's basically just tons of like insane characters, misfits, and they throw them all in the middle of a town of Kansas.
Right.
They say, all right, figure it out. This is your last chance. Right. Some people had character issues, academics. A lot of dudes were in jail.
Right.
And playing quarterback, it's kind of your job to mesh everyone together and lead everyone together. And so that's kind of where I learned firsthand, like, oh, okay, like I need to go out and grab lunch with these dudes. I need to invite them back to my dorm. I need to like party with them, pregame, do all these kind of things so that they know who I am off the field. And then I went to Vanderbilt after that, and I kind of brought that same mindset. And you see it on the field with your offensive linemen. They'll go to war for you, like at quarterback, if they know who you are.
And you gotta, I just can't imagine being a quarterback and not being a leader in some fashion. Like obviously
you have to.
There's, different levels of that. Like, a Brady versus a fucking, I don't know, Blake Bortles. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's just different levels of like.
Talkers or example leaders.
Totally, yeah. And guys that are naturally
gifted in that.
Like a Carson Palmer probably was like right out of the gate, which he just feels like such a fucking giant dude where he's just commanding respect, but he also doesn't seem like a screamer to me. So it's like, how do you navigate that when you're trying to get people's attention, when they're looking at you being like, hey man, you gotta earn that shit first before you just start like screaming at us.
Yeah,
you have to be yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like some guys are naturally introverted, and then when you try to exude some sort of like vocal leadership, then it just feels fake. So that doesn't work either. So there's a fine line.
Yeah.
I think Joe Burrow's killing it. He's himself.
Crushing it.
You know?
I think it's
Joe
respect.
Cool. It is a respect thing.
I think it's huge. Like football, T. Mays, Taylor Mays, legend from USC. He coaches, or he's helping out our team this year, and he's helped out last year. And he's talked to our team about he believes like football, it's the only sport where respect is like the main currency. And like earning your respect from your peers is like,
it for sure.
Is the biggest thing, because now you're willing to do whatever for that guy next to you, versus if, like you don't really respect somebody why would you tell me what to do? Like, I'm not going to listen to you.
Because there's probably even at the college level guys that are coming in with a prima donna mentality, right? Where they're just like, yo, I'm here to get my stats so I can go to the league and rip it up. Yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
And those guys will, have a right? I'm sure there's like coaches can only do so much because they're like, fuck, man, what are we gonna let this guy go? Like he is he's kind
talented.
He is a problem, but like, how do we just manage this so that, or maybe, I don't know, talk to the other players to be like, yo, just, treat him. I guess just deal with them in doses, or do guys like that usually just get the boot?
I think. It depends how good you are, right?
Yeah, right.
So, if you're a dog, then they're willing to put up with you.
See, that,
I think
go ahead.
I think most of the time you get humbled.
Yeah.
Usually. Like a lot of these 5 stars that come in with big attitudes, especially at the quarterback position, one dude can play. And so you don't win the job, and then it's like, oh, this is different. Because, usually at quarterback, you grow up. I've been playing since I was 5, and you're the dude on the team, and that's all you know, right? And then once you get to college, then there's another group of 4 and 5 stars, and it's like, oh, this is different. So a lot of dudes deal with that in different manners. But
did your folks know you were going to be quarterback at 5? Were you just chucking deep balls at that age? Just throwing your shit-filled diapers across the field?
My dad was like, you're going to play quarterback. And
for real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Back in Little League, you play it all, like running back.
You're like, I'm fucking
receiver.
5, Dad. Let me color first. He's like, you're playing quarterback, Mo. Get a job. You're like, again, I'm 5. Bring it down a notch. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, dude, that's cool. What was it like having a dad? What?
Lord.
All right, what else? What else can we talk about?
How was COVID? How did that affect your ability to do shows and whatnot?
Yeah, man. A lot of people thought that comedy wasn't going to come back.
At all?
It was so, like, there was just so much uncertainty. A lot of people, myself included, enjoyed the break for a little bit and then got antsy as fuck. And that's when I started to get more active on social media, just trying to post content, because it was like, all right, if there's no way to, there was no acting going on, there were no shows. Thank God voiceover, which I do a lot of, was still jamming away because we could do all that remotely. So that stayed somewhat steady, thank God. But yeah, it sucked, man. I'm on stage so much, and it's such a big part of my life now. And it's, you just think about, and there's some people, it's their true livelihood. I can't ever imagine not doing it, and so to have that time where there was there was no way. And then LA started to really, because of, it's where we live and the weather being conducive, there were a lot of outdoor shows that started going on. Shit, man, parks, beaches.
The drive-ins, right?
The drive-ins, people got shows going in the back of trucks because the outside thing people could deal with. And so that was huge, just to be able to flex that muscle a little bit. And then certain clubs opened up, and I did maybe 5 or 6 weekends in places where they did like 30% capacity in like a 300-person room, right? And they'd mask people up, and but still, and some people didn't want to do it. They were like, I'm not doing that if I can't do it full on.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck that, man. I don't care if the money's less. Like, I got to, Zoom shows aren't cutting it, you know?
Yeah.
which I did some of those, and that was fine. Again, just to flex the
hard.
muscle. Some people didn't want to do it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I need to just fucking.
Just do
I'm
it.
still riding. I still want to get, just get
stuff.
those reps,
Yeah.
And that was better than nothing. And I didn't feel like it was developing bad habits because it was like I could still hear laughs through the screen.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
still
really?
talking out. Yeah.
People
And
aren't muted?
I did a few corporate shows where they were muted.
And that's
but again,
pretty
I'm just
weird,
going.
huh?
That is
Yeah, it
weird.
was. But like, I don't know, man. How fucking professional are you? Like, can you not
Yeah.
like look at their faces and like
Get a vibe.
gauge off timing? Do you not know how to? Like, I just adjusted the timing a little bit just by not hearing them, but it was like it wasn't that bad.
I
Also,
think you. Oh, go ahead.
oh, go ahead. It's your fucking show, dude.
No, I shouldn't have cut you off.
Go ahead.
I think you killed it with what you said with content, and especially with TikTok becoming popular during that time
Yeah,
as
man.
well. A lot of comics did kind of what you're doing. I think Schultz is one guy.
Oh, crushing it. Yeah.
Crushed it.
Yeah.
With like all the political stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
And that led to the special he had.
Yep.
I think like there's a group of entertainers that really took advantage of it, and probably some who just said, whatever, I'll just wait and did nothing.
Yeah. I mean, dude, it's how I don't know if exactly how I got on a show, but I'm on The Rock's show right now about his life playing Vince McMahon, and I made some post.
Sick.
It's on NBC's Tuesday night, and
Shout out.
and so I made some post on Instagram. It was just in that. Again, like a month into everything shutting down, I was like, I got to start being more active, just putting shit up.
Yeah.
Just even, videos that I'm making from home or whatever, just content. And so I saw this article that Gwyneth Paltrow was making these candles that smell like her vagina. Did you hear about this? She has this company called Goop. It's
Wait,
like
you're
a female.
joking.
No, it's a female
No
like,
way.
soaps and hygiene stuff. And she made candles that smell like her
What?
vagina. And they sold out in like 10 minutes. And so,
So many questions.
yeah, bro.
Dudes,
I mean, all the
wow.
questions, and probably, you
Cole,
want
did
to
you buy
order a
some of
few.
that?
Yeah,
Cool.
Yeah.
Cole bought all of them, dude. That's why they sold out so quick.
Jeez.
Those sold out so quick in a heartbeat, and so I just was like, all right, let me make a joke here. Like, I posted that because I couldn't believe it. I saw it right away when that article went up, and so I was trying to be a little timely with it, and screen grabbed it and put it up, and then was like, oh, who's the guy equivalent that I'm gonna say like should get on this and have like ball scented candles or whatever. Yeah. And so I was like, oh, The Rock will be funny. And I never tagged the person in the post. Yeah. And I just fucking did it. And next thing I know, I start getting blown up. All these people being like, dude, how do you know The Rock? And I'm just like, everybody knows The Rock. What are you talking about?
Just pretending like you fuck with him.
And then my fiance looks at the post and goes, holy shit, he commented on it. Oh, and I was like, whoa. And he put right below, he was like, brother, I've been trying to get ball scented candles going, but I keep burning my shit on the wax. And then he said something else. And then he was like, dig your comedy, man. Like, keep it up, whatever. And I was like, and then he followed me. And then I shot him a message, and he didn't respond. I asked him to do my podcast, didn't respond. And I was like, all right, shot my shot.
Yeah, shoot.
And then for the next few months, I was going on David Spade's Lights Out show and a bunch of podcasts, and I just had this running joke going of The Rock is ghosting me, right? Because he just didn't respond. And so that just became a funny thing. And then all of a sudden, I get this like 4 different voice notes on Instagram one day from him. And I was like, I look at it, I was like, oh, dude, it's probably his, PR team being like, hey, man,
knock
leave
it
him
off.
alone.
Yeah.
Quit asking him to do your fucking podcast, man. We don't care what fucking van it's in,
Even if it isn't, they bang bus.
Yeah. No, they probably would have said yes to that. But so then it was him being like, man, I apologize. I never checked this. Big fan of your comedy. Been following you for a minute. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get a glass of Terramana when things, get back to normal. And then I got an audition for a show, and I was out at Chappelle's summer camp he had in Ohio, out where he lives. And I got a text from him and called him the next day, and he's like, do your best Vince McMahon impression. And I did on the phone. He was like, congrats, brother, you got the job. And then we just talked for like 2 hours, and now become homies from it. And it's like, that was all from just like, I got to start putting,
Tagging.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it just, and that's another great thing about like this business and like your guys' business is, I think, also directly affected by this type of randomness and like the luck factor. And it's like, you control what you can control, right?
Yeah.
Which is like you doing your rehab, staying healthy here, like, not being a piece of shit, like being a good teammate, like still showing up, doing all that. Yeah. And then hopefully all the other stuff that comes with that, happens. But it's like, there's no guarantee on any of that stuff. No. But if you and back to like the entertainment part of it, it's like, I try to be like nice to everyone and not be shady or do stupid shit. And it's like I was telling you guys before we got on, like, yeah, did I get a little too high the other night, come back from my buddy's birthday and walk into a wall and break my toe? Yeah, but fucking that hurts me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't hurt anybody else with that. Maybe my mom, because she just like hates that she can't fly down and fucking take care of me. But that's just because she's an overly supportive mom. But yeah, you control what you can control, and then I feel like you have a better opportunity for like good shit to happen when you do that, and be prepared, right?
Yeah.
So it's like everything you're gonna do while there's gonna be shit that you're getting to do that you wouldn't have gotten to do because you're like sitting out, which is one way to look at it.
Dude,
like
100%.
And you have to. There's I have buddies make fun of me all the time for just being so. And I have down days just like anybody, even driving here. I was like, maybe I should just fucking drive right off the No, I'm joking. But I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this fucking podcast now. No, I was fired up. But so I was like, I'm always so like glass half full, and it's always been that way.
Yeah.
And it's another great part of just like doing comedy, where it's like I'll have shitty days or things will happen, and it's like, man, the stage, I never phone it in. I don't want to take my bullshit to the stage because I'm so like, positive and fun on stage. So it really just can dig me out of a hole sometimes. And having that mentality for anything in life is just like a way. Again, when my buddies would be like, dude, you're just always so fucking, if they're down and I just try to pick them up by talking them out of something, they're like, man, I'm like, yeah, dude, because what's the alternative? Yeah. Like you want to, I definitely, you have a choice if you want to sulk or not and be like, oh, this sucks. Or you can go, what am I going to get out of this that I wasn't going to get if I wasn't in this situation?
It doesn't guarantee you success.
By the way, my TED Talks are $14.99 online.
Dude, motivational
sign up right
speaking.
now. No, man, I'm just,
Holy
it's
shit,
all just
I love
fucking
it.
life experience, man. And I wouldn't say it if I didn't feel like I lived enough of it to like be able to spit it back at you guys.
It's awesome.
I'm sorry, you were going to say though?
Yeah, I was just going to say, like, it doesn't guarantee you success, but it gives you the opportunity. Whereas if you don't do anything, you have no opportunity to succeed. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I just fucking said. Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, were you even listening? Yeah, no, you're exactly right. Yeah, I mean, you guys are learning that like tenfold right now. I mean, it's like college is such a crazy time to like get your legs under you in so many different I mean, and sports is such a great tool to have to like learn so many life moments and skills. But like, fuck, dude, I was just talking about that with a buddy today. Because his kid's getting ready to go to school, but he's super smart, and he's like getting this like computer programming job, and he's like, I might not finish the last 2 years of college, and I'm like, yeah, maybe you don't have to. Like if you got that job now, but again, college does totally. Like he's in school to get that job that he's now got, but then devil's advocate, college does just provide you with a lot of moments that I think help prepare you for the outside world. The social aspect too, which is just like a part of every world now. You gotta have some experience in. So, even just going to a fucking party you didn't want to go to, like just even that, and being around people, I think is the biggest thing that college provides, of like all shapes and sizes to set you up for the real world, to not be, to not have anxiety in those moments, because it's like the networking aspect of every job is so real, and it's like you want to be as comfy in those spots as you can to hopefully be in a spot and say yes to a hang that you might not otherwise, and then you're like, oh shit, just that cool hang, and I didn't even know that guy did that, and now he wants me to do that with him, and you're like, I mean, that happens
100%,
especially sports. Like I don't know how people grow up without that background of sports. Like I don't think I would be the same.
In some fashion, right? Like even Little League or anything. Yeah.
Like I don't think I would be the same person. I really don't. Like work ethic wise, it really bleeds into everything
Teamwork.
I do.
I mean, being able to communicate.
Oh yeah.
Being a leader, working hard, like understanding that my performance on the field is a direct product of the effort and preparation I put into it. Like it's just crazy. I don't know how people do it. And it could be anything.
It doesn't have to be sports.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be football, for instance.
But it could be like you're saying in acting and stuff. Like you working hard and you do well, and then
like even back to what we were talking about with adversity, tore my knee up literally 1 year ago today, actually, or yesterday, which is interesting. April 17th.
Damn, dude.
My birthday.
What'd you do for the anniversary?
It was my birthday. Dude, I tore it on my knee. I tore it on my birthday.
Wow.
Brutal, right? So
And Easter.
How many surgeries have you had?
overall,
Yeah.
just in the past 2 years, 4. And then before that, my wrist.
Damn, dude.
In JUCO. But so I tore it, and then I go up to Coach Helen, head coach at the time here at SC, up to his office. And this is right after the spring game. And I was pretty devastated. I was pretty down. And he looked at me. He goes, "You have 48 hours to sulk, be down, get it all out, do whatever you need to do. And after that, it's your decision. You need to focus and get back on it." He gave me those 2 days. Do whatever you need to do. And then after that, it's over. It's in the past. And that's kind of how I always looked at it. Like, it's over. There's nothing I could do about it. Are there down times? Absolutely. It sucks being on the sideline and knowing you should be on the field and you've done everything basically in your entire life leading up to that moment.
Right.
Especially in college football, there's a finite amount of years. It's not like you're in the NFL and it's kind of like you could play until whenever.
Right.
This is like eligibility, the clock's running, right? But yeah, it's basically it's over, and it's kind of, I look at it as the metaphor of poker. Like, these are the cards you're dealt, and there's nothing else you could do about it, and make the best out of it. And so that's why I think there's also value in doing things off the field. So this podcast, for example, really great way to take my mind off things. Gives me goals to achieve. Like, all right, we got this amount of views. Let's get this guest. Let's improve this technology here. Like, I talk to Matt all the time, like, where can we improve TikTok, social media, all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Gives you goals. I think you need that. You need something to look forward to without football. The nonprofit as well. Great opportunity to just do things off the field.
Did you guys have people in your circles that were kind of, pushing you towards creating stuff off the field to be involved in, or is you just kind of innately at this point in how most players are with just branding themselves and just having other shit going on? Did you just kind of decide that for yourselves, or were people telling you like, yo, you should start a podcast or you should do this? Or
yeah, well, my buddy did. He's actually the one that suggested the podcast idea.
Right.
But now with NIL, everything's different now.
Yeah, everything.
Because we started this pre-NIL. So the intention wasn't to make money or advertising dollars or anything of the sort. It was literally just for fun.
That's so crazy. So that just started last year.
Yeah,
But I mean,
summer.
it changes everything.
Dudes are making millions of dollars before stepping on the field.
At 18 years old.
Could you imagine being a 17-year, so this
never even
quarterback
playing college football?
he just committed to Tennessee, $8 million from LA. I don't even think he's 18.
Yeah, he might be 17.
Is he the number one recruit?
He's not even the number one guy. He's a 5-star.
$8 million in what? Just to
donors. Yeah, just
to get him
to go there.
And that's not even to probably say like the extra cars, house, all that other.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll
donors
make more
are just
outside of
stepping
that.
up to get the guys they want
100%.
now for their program.
And it's not even just the top guys anymore. Like, you would think, okay, of course the number one guy in the country is going to make some money doing this. Like, a lot of mid players are getting like a decent amount, like 40 grand, 50
How do you feel
grand.
about it?
I think it's long overdue.
I think it needs to be regulated a little bit, though. What do you think?
In what sense?
I feel like it's changing college football to the NFL at a younger age. Because I think that what is the difference? I mean, like, guys are transferring because also the transfer rules. You can leave a school without any interference with like eligibility. You can go for a year. Do you think so? Kids are just going to place to make money, like they're not even trying to stay there long, and then leave to school to go play. And now you're just getting a bag and you're playing it like you're a professional athlete versus like a college.
Yeah, like Reggie Bush would have cashed in.
Unbelievable.
I mean,
amount.
when I was going here, everybody had a Bush jersey.
Yeah.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And like everyone that went to the game, like he was the reason. The whole team obviously was unreal and just a powerhouse in some seasons, but like Reggie was that Jordan, Griffey, LeBron. He was that guy that you're like, wow, I'm gonna go see him live.
Iconic.
And only like every time you saw him live, you're like, something insanely magical is going to happen, and you just don't know when or at what juncture in the game. But like, he brought the school so much money, so that was also fucked. That, I mean, but again, those were the rules, so that's why it was fucked, because but also
he still made money, but
Yeah,
1,000. I mean, look, I'm sure
he still made
bro.
money.
By the way, like that, every school was doing that. It was just SC got so dominant that we had the biggest target on our back.
Yeah.
Where it was like, all right, how are you guys this good? What else is going on? Let's spend a little bit. And just the classic, this country's great about that, where it's like you get like, we love to build the shit up, and then it's like, whoa, don't be too high on that mountain, and then we're all gonna band together and knock you the fuck off.
What makes it even crazier, there was no NFL franchise here at the time, and so they were literally celebrities, dudes. Like we had one of the running backs on, Emmanuel Moody.
Oh yeah,
he said they'd be at Will Ferrell's mansion all the time, Hollywood parties.
Oh yeah, dude.
The Playmates house. I mean, they ran the city, especially Matt Leinart.
Oh, bro,
Heisman Trophy winning guy.
Matt,
good-looking quarterback.
Brandon Hance, you know who that is?
No.
He was I want to say 3rd or 4th string QB during that time, but he was best buds with Matt, and so and my buddy was best buds with Brandon. So Matt would always come over to A Pie for frat parties. A lot of athletes came over, but Matt would come over all the time.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. I mean, he just strolling in sweats and a big tee. And I remember at one point, like pledges were at the bottom of the staircase, and he was trying to get up to my buddy's room, and he's waiting there with a phone. And I walk down, and I see him. And I go, "Hey, Matt Leinart," and he was like, "What's up? I'm trying to. Do you know if Aaron's up there?" I was like, "Yeah." And then look at the pledge. I was like, "You should let the quarterback go wherever the fuck he wants, man." He's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't know who that was." And I was like, "Fuck, dude."
Kick him out.
Was he an animal?
Was that?
Was he an animal?
He was pretty chill, actually. I mean, I know he, threw it down, obviously, but
that was a given.
Yeah, I think that was a pretty tame night for him. But yeah, that they just, I mean, dude, and Pete Carroll was such a G about like pulling in Snoop and just making the culture.
Yeah, it made it cool,
like fun, and reward you too, and also take advantage of being in a city where the program could be the talk of the town,
Yeah,
that's exactly what they're trying to do now. I think they're coming out. They'll probably release in a few months, but they're trying to do a couple of NIL like opportunities and kind of bring in these alumni. They're bringing in way more alumni to come in, and they're trying. Lincoln's really trying to incorporate that like ability to. We're in LA. I mean, we're in the biggest media center of the world. So
gotta take advantage.
100%.
Yeah, we gotta get you at some games, man.
Yeah, please, man. I haven't been to a game in maybe a couple years before COVID, but dude, I love it, man. I mean, I went every Saturday when I was for those 4 years. It was crazy. True. I mean, that was truly bonkers. I know I was saying like Trojan War, that 30 for 30 was truly captured that time, but like, I mean, dude, it was crazy electric to be so into college football, but to be like at the school, like all my buddies at all the schools, University of Washington, Notre Dame, wherever, like they're just like, God, you got like to know that you're at the school that like every time you go to the stadium, you're just like, we're gonna dominate.
Yeah.
And like everyone knows that. So the tailgating was like unbelievable. Yeah. The confidence level was so high every Saturday. It was crazy.
That's awesome. So hype.
Yeah.
Like, what are the odds? The years you're in school, the university, some people say it's the greatest football team of all time. That 05-06 team is in contention.
Oh, dude, I know there's like, the Miami squad.
I think it's them. Yeah. Was it 01 Miami?
Yeah.
02. And then I throw like the 19 LSU team in there.
Yeah.
Or like the new LSU team, Joe Burrow.
That's what I said, 19.
Oh.
2019. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, for sure I'm going to be biased, but like just because of we just beat the fuck out. I mean, it was like 55-0 a lot. And that was just crazy.
A lot.
At every end of the ball, of the, both sides of the ball and every aspect of the game. It was just like, it was almost like you were watching a pro team play in college. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't think we've seen that in a minute. I mean, yeah, like you said, there's been other squads that are, somewhat comparable, but how much of is Pete Carroll regarded down here now, or do people kind of go, oh, he slipped out the door when shit got tough, or is he?
He's a legend.
He's a legend, right?
He's a legend.
Turn the program
people
around.
Forget about the end. That's never mentioned or anything.
So there's so many sides to all that shit, dude. I mean, also, you fucking blame him, dude. If it was that, like,
if he knew you're saying,
what I think is, I think it's timing too. I think he truly got an amazing opportunity to go like take over a program in the NFL,
Seattle,
where he'd been a couple times and not succeeded, and he's coming off you can't get any better college run.
Yeah.
Like, what was he truly going to do? Go back and try to win a couple more?
Yeah.
Like, or
I mean, it's not
take
the end of the world.
totally. But I mean, but if an opportunity to be coach and president, like it just the timing made it look shadier, I think, than it was.
Yeah.
And then also just like with all that stuff coming out. But again, like, yeah, shit, I don't know. All my buddies that went to SC as well, that were from Seattle, like we were all fired up, and everybody else was just like, fucking fuck Pete Carroll, but they were bummed that he left, you know. So,
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll come back and they'll, salute him or put him on a fucking horse or something. Do they still have the horse coming out?
Yeah, they do.
Hell yeah, we got
That's
some
one of
horse.
the coolest traditions ever.
Tommy Trojan.
Is it the same horse? Do we know that?
They changed the guy that does the sword. I know that.
That's
So-
every year.
So gangster.
Yeah. He doesn't look like a Spartan, but
Yeah.
You know.
they threw like an Indian guy on there. And
That's
it's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, mix it up. For
Spice it up.
diversity purposes, yeah.
I mean, diversity.
Yeah, I guess.
That is one thing I'm curious about in the comedy world, like political correctness and such a hyper like
words
PC
being canceled.
like society now. How do you like deal with that, and what is that like for you guys?
I mean, I don't really worry about it. I mean, I'm not at a level where people are taping every show of mine. It does happen, but I also look, I think you do got to be smart. Like, I'm obviously, if you guys were trying to like bait me into certain conversations, I'd probably like try to swiftly navigate around that. But also trust, I know that my intentions and can be articulate enough to like talk about stuff without just being a loose cannon and saying sound bites that'll come back to haunt me. But hey man, when you're going on podcasts and podcasting as much as I am, you got to be somewhat aware if you're talking for hours on end. I mean, look how that shit came back to bite Rogan, like with those clips resurfacing. It's like when you're just talking that much without any sort of sense of and wanting to be as free as you can, it's
tough.
You got to find that balance now. It's not to say that you can't. You just got to like be a little bit aware of like, and I've had it even happen on people come on my podcast, and some that are overly sensitive, they'll be like, hey, I think we should maybe take that out. I'm like, I actually think it's fine, and I definitely go through and scrub the episodes to make sure that we're both not going to be up for grabs for something, but then you just kind of adhere to people's comfort level. But I don't feel like it on stage, man. I mean, even this weekend, like
That's great.
I mean, I even asked this girl. She was in the crowd. And she was being real. I like to do a lot of crowd work, and I had some just epic characters this weekend over the whole thing. There was a guy who was a mortician there last night, and we just had a lot of fun back and forth. And but there was this gal on one of the shows, and she'd been sitting there with her arms crossed most of the time, and the show was great. Crowd was hot, and I always just like not take it personal, but just get excited when I see someone that I want to like come after, but kill them with kindness. Like, truly just kind of be like, what's going on? Like, has there not been a topic tonight that's resonated with you? Like, comedy is subjective, so that's on me if there's nothing that's made you laugh. But I thought you were a fucking Madame Tussauds wax figurine for the first 45 minutes. I haven't even seen you fucking move or breathe, so that's on me. Like, what's your name? What do you do? Whatever. And she just was real tooty. Just real like negative, and then sort of try to like pull the rug out from under me by saying certain things to come at me, and
You're like, all right, triggers pulled.
yeah, I mean, I'm just like
let it rip.
you're fighting the wrong fight, but and then at one point I said like, are you or she goes, oh, I'm in this is a work party, and then she said I was like, who's your boss? And she goes, Ashton Kutcher, and I go, oh, that's dope, and I go, is he here with the table tonight? And she goes, yeah, he's right behind me. And I was like, sorry to burst your bubble, that's actually a 5'4" Latino man. And I was like, so that sucks that you're discovering now, A, that you don't work with Ashton Kutcher, and also, you might be blind or just stupid. Either way, like, this is a bad night for you, or you got punked, yeah.
Bad deal.
And then so I started going off other, people that she thought were celebs in her group. And then I said, are you guys, I sense some sexual tension with you and Ashton. Are you guys doing some work hooking up? And she's like, no, I'm a lesbian. And I was like, that didn't answer my question. I was like, you can still be a lesbian and still hook up with a married guy. Yeah. And then I asked her, oh, are you out there dating like on sites, or are you trying to do an old school live in the flesh? And I said, is there a site just for, I was like, I know Grindr. I know, some of my gay friends are on Grindr. I go, I only know that for guys. I go, are girls on it too? Is it just? I go, is there just a lesbian dating site? I'm asking this with like genuine sincerity, like just trying. Which is why I think my crowd work stuff, always plays well because I'm not. At some point you gotta pop in jokes, but like I'm leading with genuine curiosity and asking questions I would ask if I was talking to them at a bar or something. You know what I'm saying? Which is how you get the best stuff. You can get as much info as possible and then trust yourself to be able to make it funny. So then I said this one thing where I go, is there a site that's just for lesbians? And then there was a pause, and I go, well, I guess Plenty of Fish would probably be that one. And then that got a big laugh. And then I was like, no, in all seriousness. And again, so I was just trying to say a quick dumb joke. And then she just was so just not wanting any part of it. So I read the room, and I said a few other things. I used her to get into some bits, and I moved on. And then afterwards, she came up to me, and she just was like, "You want to talk some shit?" And I was like, we're just having some fun on stage. I go, hope you had a good time. And then she just begrudgingly puts her hands out and she smirks. She goes, you were funny. She goes, I didn't want to laugh, but you were funny. I go, I'm glad you did. I go, but also you don't have to. Again, comedy's subjective. Like none of this is guaranteed. If your job is to just laugh or not laugh. And then she just stood there at the merch table for a little bit and hovered. And then I was leafing through some hoodies and I looked back up. I was like, are you good? And she goes, I think you owe me an apology. And I was like, oh my God. For what? And she was like, you just couldn't stop talking to me. You couldn't help make me a part of the show. I go, yeah, I mean, it is live comedy. And I noticed you staring at me like you were just, wanting, like you were trying to bite my dick off in your dreams, I go, so that resonated with me. And I go, if you think back to the show, like I was coming at you real sweetly and I know how I do things. I always do that. I always try to kill it with kindness and get the audience on my side so that if I do need to lay down the hammer, that people are going to be,
it comes off better.
And so I go, I know I was doing that. I go, you don't remember because you just were so, when people get talked to sometimes in the show, they just get blinders on and they almost like black out because it's such a like, oh shit, I'm being talked to in the show. And defense making, so I was like, you actually started coming at me pretty hot, but I kept it cool. And she's like, no, you couldn't stay away from me. You just had to keep. I was like, I guess we're just remembering it different. Also, you're the one that thought a Latino man was Ashton Kutcher. So again, I'm going to take my side on this one. The fact that I knew he wasn't and you thought he was kind of says everything right now. Sure.
Was she she genuinely thought it was?
I don't think so. But again,
she's like,
I play the moment always as real, because it's more fun. Like when you play a little bit, like once she was pointing to him, I was like, I mean, like obviously I don't think she didn't think so, but it's for the sake of the show and the joke, and you play it as real, man. Like you can have a lot more fun than just trying to break down every moment as literal. Like that's not Ashton Kutcher, lady. Like that's not funny. You know what I'm saying? Right. Hey, you're actually wrong. Anyway, you guys, so.
Yeah, at least she didn't try something during the show. She went after.
Dude, if she tried to just
fucking
fucking
Chris Rock situation.
I mean, that's crazy.
Does that ever happen to you? Anything like that?
Oh yeah.
You trying to fight on stage?
Somebody threw a wine glass at me once.
Whoa. Really? What are you saying?
I was about 2 years in the stand-up, and I was playing Wolverine at Universal Studios as my day job.
Wait, you were playing Wolverine?
That was a theme park character.
Fits you quite well.
Yeah, I was a tour guide on the backlot tour on the tram first, and then graduated, and I wanted to keep working there because it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to make more money. Being a tour guide was like $8.20 an hour. I was just doing it in the summertime. Wolverine was $23 an hour, and I was like, oh, I'll just do that 5-6 days a week. And
whole suit, you got the claws,
fake thing. Burns, fake abs, the fake teeth.
Fake abs, those are real.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Did you just claw in the air?
I actually did have my boss pull me in one point, and she goes, and I was in fine shape, and as everyone was, and there was maybe one guy that truly was like, thought he was Wolverine, so he rode a motorcycle, had a leather jacket, wore Wolverine shirts when he wasn't working, and we're like, dude, we know you're not the real guy, but
you're not Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, exactly. So, but she pulled me into her office, and she was just like, we're gonna let you take a few weeks off and just really beef up.
No way.
And I was like, for what? And she was like, to be Wolverine. I go, but I'm not. It's theme park Wolverine. Right. And I mean, I would get it if I was like fucking 250 and just sloppy. Yeah, but I was I actually thought I was in like
They
pretty
put you on
good shape at
SARMs or
that
something?
time.
They put you on a plan.
No, she just goes take a break and like hit the gym, and I was like, oh
Hey,
man,
I'm taking this a bit disrespectful.
shot to the ego. Yeah,
If it was a paid break, it'd be all right. you know?
totally. Yeah, it was not. So I was like,
Definitely not.
at least give me a Pilates membership or something.
Yeah.
But
Hook you up at Equinox or something.
yeah, dude. So, so I was doing that, and I was doing jokes about Wolverine, and I was doing this winery up in Paso Robles. A buddy of mine lived up there, so he started a show up at this brewery. They'd never had stand-up up there. There's about 300 people packed in this upstairs bar, and this woman was hammered, and I was kind of, throwing some stuff at her. She's throwing it back, and then I said something that got a big laugh. She wanted to. She was like, "Can you come and give me a kiss?" And I was like, "Should I let her give me a kiss?" And was like, "Yeah." Was just fucked up, and so I go over there, and she just licks the side of my face, and I made some dumb joke about how like I just got HPV, herpes, and fucking gingivitis all in the same lick, or does anybody have any cream or fucking whatever? And then I'm walking back to the center of the stage, and I'm looking down, like just thinking of my next bit, and I'd done all this material about being Wolverine, and I just see in my periph, I just see like a hand go up, and then just that, and I like saw it so quickly that I didn't have time to like turn or really like clock it all. I just saw that. And so that just did that. I didn't have time to even like turn or duck. You know what I'm saying? It just happened so fast. Yeah. So I put my hand up, and the base of the wine glass, swear to God, just hits my palm, and it's just sweaty enough, and it hit in a way where like a couple of the just a little bit of the roundness of the glass gets caught in the webbing of my hand. So I just fucking do that and snapped it out of midair.
That's hard.
And now
then,
they really think you're Wolverine.
Dude, so then so once I do that, and this is probably from about 15, 20 feet away, and I just go like that, and then I turn and I just start laughing maniacally because it was so crazy. I was like, holy shit. And then I held it up and I go, ah! And the whole place goes nuts. And then I went over and I sit on our table and I go, I told you I'm Wolverine, bitch. Don't fuck with me.
That's so
and then
hard.
they kicked her out. And then,
Dude, that's best case scenario.
Yeah,
it was
literally
incredible.
could write that up better.
Yeah.
And so and then I've had a couple other people just, be, in some conservative states when I've just gone in on Trump, which I play both sides, but hey man, sometimes you're just like, there's too much here to not talk about, and I'm sorry that you can't even acknowledge some of the hilarity that is happening from your guy, and I'm sorry, but so then those types of people will definitely get in your face, and you just try to hold your ground and hope that they don't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but no slap yet. But that was the problem and the concern for comedy now is that people, that action giving people like the idea that like, oh cool, if I don't like something I can go fucking do that. I don't think it's gonna. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's not gonna happen a little bit more because of that, for sure, because it was on such a big scale and it was one of the GOATs of all time, getting treated like that and having and if he had gone down, I think Will Smith would have gotten kicked out for sure, which I think they tried to. They said
sure.
if he had gotten hurt or knocked a tooth out or gone down, I think Chris Rock would have maybe sued him, or Will Smith at least would have gone to jail. Like he's so lucky that he like stayed up, and I think it was. A, he just took the slap, but B, it was like
a shock.
I totally. Yeah, I think like his body just, and also once it's happening, I mean, he probably is just like, dude, I don't like. There's an embarrassment there too that is unexplainable. Of like, dude, don't fucking go down.
Well, it looked like a bit the entire time. And
he thought it was.
Chris thought it was too. Until he started screaming at the end.
Did you watch it live?
Yeah, I was watching it live. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I just got out of the shower. Dear diary, if you're cold right now. And so I just got out of the shower and I love you, dude. And so I just got out of the shower and I literally like looked up. I hadn't watched it at all yet. And so I literally just looked up and saw, and Chris Rock walked out and I was like, fucking finally, like a reason to watch the show, really just don't care about the awards anymore. And a lot of the movies I hadn't even seen. I mean, I get it. It's cool to honor people like that. I just think it's, for any award show, you just, got to make it sillier. You got to add more goofs. But, and the fact that there's no comedy categories is still just a fucking travesty. You're like, Tropic Thunder should have been nominated for everything. They all should have won something. I mean, you can go down the list of comedies over the years. Jim Carrey should have probably won 5 Oscars for his comedy work over the years. But but so when Chris Rock came out, I was like, all right, hell yeah, some
Yeah,
true
some
a guy that's
humor.
gonna take some chances
Yeah.
because he always does, and he did right out of the gate, and then when he said that, and even when he said it, I was like, ooh, not for me, but just like I know the setting and how uptight it is.
Yeah.
And then when he even like apologized, and I could hear the room kind of going like, "Oh," I was like, oh, like that'll be talked about tomorrow. Is what I'm thinking. Like he'll get, someone's gonna, why'd you make fun of her hair? Like that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then when he's walking up, same thing. I was like, oh, this is a planned bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Because what the fuck? Why else would he be walking on
the
stage?
stage,
There's
yeah.
really no other explanation for it. And then Chris Rock was just laughing so much to where, like, uh-oh, here he comes. Like,
Yeah.
he even said, King Richard, like,
Yeah,
here he
like a
comes.
bit, yeah.
Oh, man, that was bonkers, dude.
I thought it was a relatively tame line too. He could have
Yeah,
gone
I feel- I mean,
way
a
harder than
1,000%,
that. He could have gone
man.
so much
Like,
harder.
Dude, it
It's
wasn't even
humor.
about, it's also
Yeah.
like, she doesn't even, like,
She's a badass in that movie, right?
Jeff Ross, the comedian, has it, and he's lost his eyebrows. His fucking, like, she doesn't even have it that bad. It's also, it was a fucking compliment. Demi Moore looked hot in that movie. It's like
Yeah,
about women in the
that's- yeah.
military. Like, there's no real
It's a
joke. It's
compliment.
also an old movie. You also look fucking good, Jada. Like,
Yeah,
what is your,
right.
like,
Have
truly,
some
what is your problem?
confidence,
You also
yeah.
suck. Like, you've also dragged Will Smith down so much. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen these videos pop up. Dude, like,
terrible.
recently of him,
Oh
of her
my
just
God.
being like,
Yeah.
and he's like, can you stop taping me? Like, dude, you
Yeah.
are nothing without Will Smith.
Exactly.
Nothing. So like, what the fuck? Like, I honestly have. It sucks that he did that, but I now like, you just get, there's more fuel to the fire of why he did that, and I mean, he's got his own shit going on, but like, as far as understanding more of why he is who he is because of that marriage, man, there's a lot coming to the surface from that.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact that she got him to go on her show and be like, yeah, I'm fucking our son's friend. And he's just like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like,
He was
dude,
actually Jaden's friend.
that's what I heard.
Oh no.
Really?
Oh no.
Well, who's the rapper that,
Was it August? Some guy named August. But that's
Yeah.
Jaden's friend?
apparently, unless there's other guys too.
No. This is a bad
Yeah,
situation.
this is.
And it's
Will-
also like,
Will's gotta get out of that,
Well,
huh?
that's, dude, case in point. Just Will pull the plug, but
Jesus.
I mean, so my take on that is that, like, I think he is probably a pretty sweet family dude to where he's just like,
For the kids, kind of.
I ain't trying to break shit up or cause a scene, but it's
old.
like, dude, like, there's got to be so many examples before
Yeah.
what we've seen in the last few years that he probably had outs. It's like, shit, man. If you crash your car into like a fucking Carl's Jr. drive-through, it's probably time to, like, fucking, I don't know, stop eating Carl's Jr. and also,
Well, yeah.
get a fucking scooter for a couple months and just try to, like,
Try it out.
Yeah, try it out. Like, make an adjustment,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like make a change.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's my take.
I love it. All right, we're gonna finish up on a fan question. We
God,
got
just one. That's sad. Just
Well,
one
you
entry.
No.
You're like, and it's actually Alex's question. He just sent it to us a couple minutes
Alex
ago.
did.
It's actually my question.
that's fine.
Oh, okay, no. We do have a consistent theme here. I'll let you take it.
We do like a DMs, like we just we get a lot of athletes on and they kind of do different things when they're in the DMs. Is that something you do at your age? I mean,
What's that?
like
My age.
sliding into these.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, I guess
At your-
I mean, how is the
At your
dating scene
tender
for
age
you
of
right
55.
now? What is it like for
do
you?
Did you think I was 55? How old do you think I am? Do you even know?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I guess
46.
For real?
Yeah.
39.
Okay, you look good for 39.
Yeah, you look fantastic.
Appreciate
Wait,
it.
we should have done the math. 2000,
The what?
he graduated.
Well, dude, I don't think anyone
that's
in this
right.
room, Matt, was thinking math, and you fucking have a good relationship going. Maybe Matt and Whippets. Fucking. All right, so DMs. I respond to
Like what's what's your
Fans,
go-to?
I mean, dude,
I'm saying
yeah.
like you see.
Pre-fiance, I guess.
Pre-fiance.
Is the
Yeah,
caveat there.
obviously.
Oh, so
pre-fiance.
yeah. So what is the question?
Like some people have a go-to line, as far as like, I'm gonna slide into this
Oh God, man, I don't
attractive
even know if I can
female.
fucking
You
tap
know what I'm
into
saying?
that.
Or is this before your time?
No way, dude. I mean,
You're getting after it.
well, I mean,
Were you
dude,
getting
meeting
after it?
people. That was one of the great things. I mean, that's just been one of the great things about stand-up is like, you're always meeting people, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's truly. I mean, for that side of things, and then also just like making new homies, fucking celebs that I've, met and become homies with from them seeing you on stage do your thing. It's like, it's a cool platform for any sort of like an immediate icebreaker, right? But
or you can say in-person pickup lines. You go to the bar or something.
There was no, honestly, man, I never had a set line. It was like, it's the same way with like crowd work. I don't have a set thing to get in or out of something. So it's like, it's truly based on, what I'm at in that moment, what's happening, who that person is, whatever, like, but usually always a joke.
Yeah. Get her laughing.
Yeah, always a joke. And even if they don't pick up on it, that's all. I'm always rolling the dice that their sense of humor is like up to par and that they're like can pick up on like I think I said one time to a girl, she was like, or I walked up at the bar and she was there and I said like ID or something. And then she turned around and she was like, oh, actually I'm taking IDs tonight. Like they actually told me you're fired. Like, and I was pretending to be like the security guy and she was at the bar and then she came back with that and then we both laughed and I was like, oh, that was cool. She like recognized it was a bit and then jumped right in the bit boat and started going back and forth.
Personality.
That's attractive.
There you go,
she can give it back. You know what I'm saying?
Give it back versus like me being like ID and her being like, do you work here?
Like, what?
I'm going to go home.
That's my cue, actually.
Yeah. Matt knows that's like, but wait, okay, so what's the... What's at this stage in the game? What's your guy? Judging by your guys' question, I feel like there is a set line that you guys.
There's several.
Not me. I'm more like you. I think it's just like up to the situation.
Calling audibles a lot, right?
Yeah, it's better. That's gonna connect better, way smoother.
I think so. Yeah. You try to open with a joke or?
Yeah. There's one you can send an old photo of yourself and be like, hey, my friend thinks you're cute. Like this is him.
Right.
That's one that my buddy gave me.
Or do you guys use like, don't we have a class together? Right.
Well, most of them don't go here.
Yeah. Most of the what?
Like
most
the people
LA,
like girls in LA. You know what I'm saying?
That's the other thing I forgot about is you guys are swiping away. You don't have just
there are dating apps
schools.
Too. Yeah.
Don't bound us. Don't bound us.
Yeah, we're
bound for you. Wow.
Around the country too, not just LA.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Worldwide.
Wow.
Matt's flying
Pitbull.
girls out.
Yeah.
Pitbull. Nice, dude.
Worldwide, yeah.
They call you Pitbull. Nobody calls you that, Matt. And what is your type, Matt? Let's get into it.
Good looking. I don't know. I don't really have too much of a type. I feel like if you're attractive,
let's say the last few girls you've dated or been with, like what has there been a theme? Do they have teeth? Let's start with that.
Yeah, teeth.
Yeah.
I definitely got some teeth.
For you. Legs, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
But like, is there like, what's the thing? Obviously, like looks matter to everyone. Like, what's past that? What's got to for you to really vibe and go? I'm gonna spend time with you.
I think it's kind of that personality feature you're talking about. If they can give it and take, and obviously hold a conversation. But I think the biggest thing is probably like having their own thing. I feel like a lot of times in relationships, especially with athletes, and there's people who always chasing the jersey and doing whatnot. I think it's really attractive if a woman, like, she has her own thing, like she's doing her own type of stuff.
She might not even care that you play.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
and then it's now it's like two powerhouses, and
cool.
versus it just being like, oh my gosh, you play football.
Yeah. Like there's some athlete couples out there, right, that are killing it, right?
Oh, like JJ Watt and that chick on the U.S. the women's team, right? Soccer team. What'd you say?
Oh, Zach Ertz and
Zach Ertz too.
Yeah.
His wife's a soccer player, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it doesn't even have to be athletes; they can be doing whatever. they're
doing their own
but
thing.
Just
I
think that's
like
pretty
that.
attractive.
I was gonna say more so blondes for me. Which is
Oh yeah, nice.
I think that's what he was going for.
Typical QB answer. Yeah.
But
just blonde hair,
cool
and the Carvers don't have to match the drapes, but if they do, that's fucking sick. But also, if she likes to drink beer, and if she has fucking fingers, because I fucking really dig, like I like sucking fingers and shit. But
she better be breathing.
Yeah, she better be breathing too. Like that's a huge one for me. Being alive and shit. Like I like live girls. Fuck yeah, dude.
What about you, Cole? What
about you, Cole?
Yeah, cool.
Crazy Latinas.
Nice.
For me, ruin my life.
Oh, ruin your life.
Yeah,
But you can't stay
I like
away.
it.
It's like it's a habit you can't kick, huh?
Yep.
Well, good luck to you, man.
There's a lot of that in LA. So
There's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, you're in the right
Raised out here,
place.
so
Are you really?
Mhm.
What high school did you go to?
Notre Dame in the Valley.
Oh, nice, dude. Very cool.
Big Valley guy. All right,
This has been awesome.
let's
Is that,
do our.
what's the fan question?
Let's finish up with the fan question. We got Jed Elliott on Instagram.
Cool.
Veteran, longtime Brown fan, heart surgery survivor is his bio. It's pretty dope. We're going to go. All right. He says, ask him about the worst time he bombed at an open mic.
First time I bombed at an open mic. Oh, man, it was in Seattle at a club called Giggles, which then got turned into a strip club called Jiggles, and they left the marquee up. And now it's called Laughs. And I did an open mic there. I did maybe 2 open mics before I moved down here to go to school. But started stand-up here at the Comedy Store. It was like where I really just cut my teeth and started, and became a paid regular and just all that. And then got into all the other clubs. But I did an open mic there over one, like a holiday break, and got a bunch of friends to come out. And I brought like 20 friends. It was pretty much the whole audience on a Sunday night. And the guy who ran the club did the tickets, did the food, he did everything. Yeah. He was an asshole. He knows who he is. I don't have to say his name, but I'll say it, Terry. I'm not gonna say his last name, Taylor. It was Terry Taylor. And so look, he had the club. It thrived in the '90s, and then he just did too much and needed help, and it took a toll. So I'm on stage. I got 6 minutes, and coming up at like 6:20, I'm wrapping up my last bit, and he pulls the mic. He just like cuts the audio. And again, I got 20 friends there, and I went like towards the end. So like all my friends stayed for everybody else, and then I'm up and like I'm going 20 seconds over, and he cuts my shit. I mean, and I'm like, again, this is like my 3rd or 4th time on stage, but I'm still like savvy enough to be like, that's fucked up. Yeah. Like I brought your business tonight. Like if anything, the move is go, hey, do you want to do 10 minutes?
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, thank you for. There's 3 other people here that aren't your friends.
Yeah.
And I'm making money tonight off of that, and I'm not paying you.
Yeah.
So do a little extra time. That's the move. Yeah. But again, he was doing so much, he probably didn't have the kindness button going on. So again, I don't want to fucking throw too much shade or say his name again, but Terry Taylor. And so so he pulls the audio, and then I just pause, and then I go, fuck it, I'll do it a cappella. So I drop the mic, and I just fucking go. And then, I was in fucking, theater school, so the stage was no stranger. So I just started performing the last few beats of the joke, and then did a few more minutes on top of that, because I just got a little ego about it. And I was like, fuck that. And as soon as I dropped the mic and continued, dude, my friends went fucking nuts, because they were just like, way to fucking stick with it, and like not take it. And but that being said, he was like, hey, don't come back for a while. And I was like, cool, thanks for having me, man. It's a great night. But that set in general, just talking about bombing, I mean, there were a lot of ups and downs. I mean, your friends come out to support, which are great, and they're laughing. It's a lot of stuff that they normally wouldn't, because it's you. But I don't remember that being a great set, regardless. I still was like, having friends there was great, but I still was in my head being like, fuck, that didn't get a laugh. And that's what I'm sure you guys do too, which is like, my fiance always gives me a hard time about that. She's like, I'll come back from a great show and immediately go down the things that like, and I should have said that, or I should have that, or I gotta, and I did that in basketball too in high school. I drove my mom crazy. Like first game I had like 30 points in high school, and I was like, fuck, but I missed these fucking, and I was, I was a sharpshooter, and I missed some easy buckets, and she goes, are you ever gonna be happy? She goes, Jesus Christ, this is like on the drive home, and I was like, I'm not unhappy. I'm just, this is how
you're wired.
This is how I wired, and it's how, and I think it's healthy to like in comedy 100%. Too, like to just, I'm not forgetting the good times or the growth that just happened, but it's like my head just goes to like, and I'm glad I immediately just, clock like, okay, like, so that I can like write down like, all right, let's put that first up to work on tomorrow, and not forget those things. But that is also an acquired skill set, right? Because if you are just getting off stage and not at all acknowledging the positive and just going, fuck, like I forgot that. It's like, all right, well, did the other new things you do go well? And did you, you got to like
balance,
always take like a good thing and something to work on.
That's awesome. Anyway, I think that's a huge mindset in just life in general. You got to be able to want to hunger to improve,
The Hunger to Improve. That's a T-shirt, Matt. You
Put that on
talking
the
T-shirts,
merch.
dude.
Talking T-shirts.
Talking T-shirts, man.
Speaking of T-shirts, tours, specials, all that kind of stuff, you got one coming out in 2 days?
Yeah, there's one coming out on my YouTube channel and live at the Punchline San Francisco, and then tour every weekend up until September right now. AdamRayComedy.com for the tour dates. Young Rock is Tuesday nights on NBC. I'm on a show with Julia Roberts and Sean Penn coming out next week on Stars called Gaslit. Awesome. I play Nixon's press secretary. It's about Watergate. And then I played Jay Leno on Pam and Tommy. That's on Hulu. Fuck yeah, Alex, my man. Alex was like, dude, I fucking remember that sex tape. That was like the original sex tape, by the way. That's like what popped off that whole industry, which is crazy. And then my podcast about last night. Which get on.
Yeah, you're killing it on
video.
that. I saw the Santino episode.
Yeah, it was great, right?
So funny.
Yeah, that's my homie. Yeah, I mean, dude, from Bill Burr to Sebastian to Sandra Bullock to Dana Carvey to Jason Derulo. I mean, fucking have had a lot of cool people. So that's audio and YouTube wherever you get your pods. And then fuck, dude, Cole and I are starting a bakery that's that's okay. If you're gonna laugh, maybe we're not, dude. I was just trying to fucking go halvesies with you. Cole DMs me every other Tuesday night being like, hey man, Topgolf? And I'm like, hey man, it's 3 a.m. And then he's like, ha ha ha, Bitcoin? And I'm like, is that, I don't, yeah. But awesome. So stay tuned for that friendship to blossom. And and stay tuned for Cole's appearance on any of my shows when he's prepped and locked and loaded.
Let's go, baby.
Yeah.
What are the upcoming tour dates if people want to find
man, when does this come out? You got the mics weren't even on. You guys weren't even fucking recording, were you?
Yeah,
it's like a practice episode.
Well, now we get to the extra deleted scenes.
Not a bad trick, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm in Austin.
Come out the following in first week of May. What's that?
Week from tomorrow. Okay,
yeah,
so I'll be in
tomorrow.
Madison, Wisconsin at Comedy on State. Then I'll be in Milwaukee at the Improv. Then the week after that at the North Carolina Improv, and then in Atlanta at the Punchline, and then in Kentucky. And then Denver Comedy Works, and then San Diego at a new club called Mic Drop Comedy Club. And then I can't think past that because of weed. So that's it. Yeah.
All right, everyone, check them out. Check out the special too, the podcast. Love it. You're coming up. You're gonna blow up more
Thanks,
than you
brother.
already are.
I appreciate it, man. It's a grind. It never stops. But this last year, you just try to stack the chips each year. What are you saying, Alex?
Yeah, what are you saying?
Socials.
Oh, Adam Ray Comedy on Instagram and Twitter and TikTok. And I might try to, sneak a couple pics of Mo's boot and start a foot only fans.
Bro, crazy story. They reached out to me about
OnlyFans did?
feet photos. Yeah, promise you.
Are you serious?
I have the email. I posted it on Twitter actually. So I put it on my story and I tagged them as a joke, obviously.
Yeah.
And then they hit me up because my email is tagged to my Instagram. They're like, "Hey Mo, like if you're interested, let's do it." Like.
I mean, shit, dude. You know, just
people are making money
extra
off
cash.
Capitalize, right?
Yeah, I mean, like we were saying pre-show. I mean, I know people that are just making so much money. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. It makes you just take a look in the mirror and be like, dude, how much could I get for one nut? Like, could I just post one and not have my face attached and get like $50 a week? Yeah.
You go anonymous? That's the move.
Yeah, you got to, man. I mean, I don't know.
I think they want your face though.
I appreciate that, man, dude. Come on, man. And you're back in the circle of trust. Earlier, 46. You're 46, man. Fuck, dude.
He remembers everything.
Yeah, dude.
Awesome.
I mean, I guess I did dress like a Lady Foot Locker employee, but that's on me. But even that's not 46. That's like fucking like 35 still.
Lady Foot Locker.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Thank
This
you,
was
brother.
fun. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you. I
Awesome.
appreciate it.
You guys.